Page 75.
Module 5.3 Price Ceiling and Price Floor. Rationale: price ceiling and price floor is a tool for allocation of goods and services among the consumers. It is a measure adopted by the government to benefit producers and the consumers. Key concepts: price ceiling, price floor.
5.3.1 Price Ceiling. Price ceiling refers to setting up of a maximum limit on the price of the goods and services by the government to limit the rise in price. It is generally imposed on the essential items like wheat, rice, kerosene, sugar, etc., so that poor people can also afford it.
Page 76.
It is imposed when a shortage of a commodity threatens a price rise of that commodity. In Figure 5.5, the P0 and Q0 are the market-determined price and quantity. Please note these are in lowercase. But price P0 cannot be afforded by the poor. Then the government sets a price equal to P max, which is less than P0. The ceiling price allows the food to be afforded by the poor, but it reduces the supply of food to QS. At the price P max, which is below the market clearing price P0, there is an excess demand for the good, with an excess demand of QS, QD, and the ceiling price P max rationing system should be imposed to supply food to the potential buyers. Figure 5.5 Price Ceiling. We have before us a graph with two axes. The x-axis represents quantity and the y-axis represents price. There is a downward sloping line which represents DD, which is the demand. There is an upward sloping line which is SS, which represents supply. The intersection of these two lines is represented by the points Q0, P0, where Q0 is quantity on the x-axis and P0 is price on the y-axis. You must also note that there is another point on y-axis, P max, when there is a dotted line which is extended parallel to the x-axis, which originates from P max towards SS and DD, we get points of intersection QS P max on the SS line and QD P max on the DD line. The distance between QS P max and QD P max is ED, that is excess demand.
5.3.2 Price Floor. Price floor, like the price ceiling, is an attempt made by the government to regulate the price other than the equilibrium level. The objective of price ceiling is to lower the price for the consumers, and price floor aims at increasing the price for the suppliers. In this case, the government announces or sets a price above the market clearing price as it considers the price to be low. In Figure 5.6, P0 and Q0 are the equilibrium market price and quantity respectively. Now, the government sets a price equal to P minimum above the market clearing price P0. As depicted in the figure, this causes an excess supply of the good. In this situation, the government needs to buy the surplus of QD/QS at the predetermined price P minimum.
Page 77.
Figure 5.6 Price Floor. Here we have a graph with two axes. The x-axis represents quantity. The y-axis represents price. There is an upward sloping line here, SS. This represents the supply curve. There is a downward sloping line here, DD. This represents the demand curve. Both these lines intersect at the points Q0, P0. This is the point of equilibrium. Now, if the price floor is set to P minimum, then there will be a situation of excess supply. This is represented by the gap between the points QD, P minimum and QS, P minimum.
Test your understanding.
1.
Suppose the market-determined rent for apartments is too high for common people to afford. If the government comes forward to help those seeking apartments on rent by imposing control on rent, what impact will it have on the market for apartments?
2.
Suppose the market-determined wage rate for workers is too low for common people. If the government comes forward to enforce minimum wage law to ensure a better standard of living of workers, what impact will it have on the labour market?